welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to attempt to fix the shock tower on the E36 M3 that I picked up. So I got rid of my daily driver, the S500. My buddy needed a car and just decided to let him take it. Got a little bit of a mess still in the shop here. We will figure that out. You're just gonna have to excuse this, but the car has a ripped shock tower on the driver's side. I did order both sides to replace them, but I think right now I'm gonna try to attempt to do the driver's side just so I can get this vehicle roadworthy, put tags on it, and be able to drive it. I did pick up a little dirt bike in the meantime. I was ripping it today and hit some water. It rained earlier, so I hit some water with dirt mixed in, and I scrubbed really bad. I mean, it's funny, not a big deal though. It'll go away. So let's get to work on this. I need to strip the trunk, get all the junk out of here, probably pull the battery just so the light doesn't drain it even more. It already barely starts the car, and I just need to go buy another one. This wasn't a priority until now, so we will get that going, and stay tuned for other things. For example, I need to get this. I don't know if any of you guys have E36s and you have these issues where the mount, it unglues from the actual door panel. I'll show you how to fix that. It's very simple, very cheap, and I actually found a replacement seat, so we'll get that taken out, replaced. The car does need a wash and a little bit of a buff or something, and we'll try to remove this. Stay tuned for that. That's for another day. Right now we'll focus on the shock tower, and stay tuned for this box. That's going to be interesting. But right now the goal is going to be to strip the trunk, the sides, you know, all the stuff inside, just so I don't burn or grind or weld anything. I'd like to keep it clean, so stay tuned. I don't know if I'm gonna do a time lapse. I might, but I will probably just put the camera down, remove all this stuff, and show you how bad the shock tower is. And I'll probably lift the car and get the shock off, get the wheel off, just so I can access it a little bit easier from the wheel well. All right, see you shortly. Alrighty, I'm back. Let me show you what I did. So I stripped this side here. I'm gonna leave this side probably alone. I don't think it's gonna be an issue, but we'll see. Like I said, I got this side stripped. Let's see. Let's go a little bit closer. Check out that carnage right there. Oh, she's sexy. So good thing BMW still sells this top plate here. I'm gonna get a wire wheel and take off all the seam sealer, rip all that out. There's gonna be some spot welds. I see one right there. Just gonna drill it out, throw this piece away, and got that brand new unit. I'm gonna put that in here, weld it up. Probably not gonna weld today because I don't have any weld through primer, and I do want to make sure this is all legit. I don't want it to rust or corrode or anything like that. So I'm gonna get it all cleaned out, cleaned out, get it probably take the spot welds out, take it out, and mock up the new piece. But let's see how it looks from in here. Yep, she ripped out completely. She's been banging that hole. Not good, but that's alright. It is what it is. Brakes look decent. A little rusted, but car's been out of service for a while. When I fired it up, it had a bad lifter tick. But warmed up and everything went away. She runs smooth. She does have a I think it's a locked clutch fan. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just rusted, but it's stuck on. And we have a fix for that. Stay tuned, that's coming too. Like I said, we're gonna focus. I don't want to get into too many things and do everything all at once, because then you don't know where to start or where to end. Now we're just gonna focus on that shock tower, get that fixed, and I might just peel this back just to see how this one looks. If it's cracked or anything, then I'll do it all at the same time. But right now I'm just gonna focus on that. I'll get the wire brush, get that seam sealer cleaned off, and I'll show you how it's, well, I'll show you after it's done. All right, I'm back. I'm a little bit exhausted. It was a little bit of a pain, but I think we got it. Let me show you where I'm at. So the best way to tackle this, I found, was heat and like a gasket scraper. So I've got one of these deals. I don't remember if I got it AutoZone or Advanced Auto, but or maybe even Napa. But this unit is made in China. It sucks, but I haven't found one that's made in USA. So here's what we got. I got my little torch here. Get in there with the torch and just kind of warm it up and work my way around this and just scrape everything off. Once you know, there's black seam sealer on this part, and that stuff comes off very easy with just very mild heat. But the yellow seam sealer on here, you have to warm it up a little bit, and then it comes off pretty easy. So I scraped it all around, got it out, and then got my little grinder with the wire wheel or brush on here, whatever it is, and just kind of scraped it off just so you can see all the welds all around. And those things need to be drilled out. Haven't decided if I want to drill the car from the inside or this piece. Kind of thinking probably this piece, because you know, this is going to get replaced and I don't want to really drill the car. So most likely I'll probably drill them from here. And it's actually easier from here because back here in the trunk there's a seat here, so you can't really get to this back here and a speaker on top. So probably just gonna go ahead and drill these and pop this thing out and prep it for the new unit to go in here. The shock still got pieces of I don't know if you can see over here by the bolt. Still got pieces of the original shock tower in there, but hey, kudos to the previous owner. She got, I found her registration there, so I know it's a she. She actually had these shocks replaced with looks like original brand shocks. They're gas shocks. They're in very good condition. I try to collapse them, and they've got some pressure. So if she did that to the front too, it would be a nice nice set of shocks to resell, because boy oh boy do we got a set of shocks for this thing, and you'll see that later. So let me go find my spot driller. I don't want to use just a regular drill bit. It's going to be tough to get those out, but I do have an actual drill for spot welds that just drills around the spot weld, so I can pop that piece off and just use a grinder to flatten out the welds that were on here. I wish I had one of those nice 3M thin little belt sanders, but you know, we're simple folk over here, so we'll do with what we have. Let me go try to find that piece and start drilling them out and show you where I'm at. I guess let me show you the inside of the trunk. I got that thing cleaned up as well. Kind of banged it down just a little bit. It's kind of nasty sticking up, but got it cleaned up just so it's easier to work with. Once you start welding and seam sealer is there, it catches on fire, and even having argon gas, it doesn't help the welds. They're crappy, they pop, and it doesn't weld that well. So that's why you got to take the seam sealer off. It's just much easier to weld. So let me get that spot weld remover, start drilling them out, and show you what I got. All right, I'm back. I think we're gonna have to quit it for tonight because I cannot find the tool to drill out the spot welds. I don't know if you guys ever seen these. I did find the tips, the replacement tips on them. I'm missing the little shaft that goes into your drill, and it has a little point, center point. And so if you use a center punch, it keeps it from dog tracking anywhere and just drills out the spot weld. So these come in different sizes, but I cannot find the actual shaft. So I'm gonna have to pause them. I might look for it, or this is actually made by Mac Tools. Near the Peterbilt dealership, there's a Mac Tools truck. So I might drive out there tomorrow and see if I can just buy another one, because I'm sure you guys heard me say this. I've moved twice in 6 months, and I'm not as organized as some people. I try to be, but I just must have misplaced it. Plus, I haven't done any actual body repair welding in a long time. So it is what it is. Pause it for tonight. I'll go out there tomorrow and try to find this stuff. For me, it's going to take a little bit. For you guys, it'll probably be quick, because I'll be back shortly in the video, and I'll show you how this is done. I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of DIYs on replacing shock towers, because this is a common issue. But hey, everybody does it differently. Not everybody sees all the videos. Maybe you'll see this one, and something that I did might help you better than the other ones. I don't know. Like seam sealer, heat, scraper, take it off. You know, clean it up, do it nice. These cars are getting more and more rare by the day. I say by the day. People crashing them all the time and stripping them for parts. So hey, some people like me enjoy these old cars. They're fun to drive. I am going to attempt to fix it up and take it to the track. Straight line, not so much, but turns, that's where it's at. These cars get down, and you'll see how it goes. A lot of people are turning these E36s into drift cars. While it's fun and you are able to drift them, I don't think this is where this build is going to go. So the goal is to keep it clean, keep it nice, get original part, like nice brand name parts on it. I will throw in some eBay stuff in there, here and there. I know it's frowned upon, but there are some things that are decent, so we'll give them a shot. The one thing that I don't know, maybe you guys can help me out, I don't know. I am trying to find original BMW clear lenses. I'm not a fan of the amber ones, but that's not, you know, it doesn't do a lot to the car. But I don't know about the headlights. I don't like the stock headlights. The light output sucks on them, and I do want some glass projector headlights. The one thing I don't know if I want is the halos. Are the halos overplayed already? They don't belong on this car? Who's to say? I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Maybe if you guys see this video, comment down below. Let me know which headlights I should put on this car. They are going to be glass. They are going to be projector headlights. I just don't know if they're going to be halos or not. I don't know many of the differences between them. I know there's like ZKWs and Hellas and Bosch. I don't know. Maybe you guys know better than I do. I haven't been around the E36s for a while, so let me know. I do want to get some headlights for this thing. I haven't ordered any cosmetic stuff. When I got the car from the auction, the fender did have a little dent and the corner light was busted. So I do need to get a corner. I just don't know which one to get. I might just get a set of the cheap clear ones for now, because I don't want to buy another amber one, and it just doesn't make any sense. I'm not going to run any amber ones on here anyway. These are going, but we'll see. Stay tuned. We'll be back tomorrow. Get this shock tower drilled out, replaced. I'm gonna get some weld through primers. I think I don't know if I have seam sealer. I might pick up some seam sealer as well. Seam seal it, get it nice. I don't have any paint to match, but this is literally under carpet. It has sound deadening in the carpet. Nobody's ever going to see that. So I might just spray it with some black undercoating or something, or just get a can of black spray paint, just cover it up. As long as it's covered up, protected, it's not going to rust. Shouldn't rust, and nobody's going to see it. It'll be fine. So stay tuned. We'll be back tomorrow. Hey guys, what's going on? I'm back. I didn't get to do anything yesterday, so we're fast forward one day. I don't know where I left off, don't remember. I believe I was out to get the spot weld remover drill, but anyway, so I got the piece off, and as you can see, it's not pretty. So whoever, I guess the biggest problem is this has already been replaced. This is a replacement piece, and I don't understand why I didn't use the reinforcement, but this piece is garbage, and their corrosion prevention wasn't that great. Good thing I caught it. Just going to the junk pile. Anyway, here we have it off. I just need to even out this metal just a little bit, and when on the inside here, I'm gonna have to get a grind wheel going, and I'm gonna hammer this flat, whatever that is, and just kind of grind everything flat. And I bought some primer. I'm gonna spray the primer in here, pretty much grind or sand down the primer on the original piece, because it's not a weld through primer, just a primer. And I'm gonna drill a few holes in it. I don't know if I want to weld on to the places where they welded on already too, because well, it's been kind of destroyed. So I might just skip it and just try to weld in between theirs, just so I can have this welded on nicely, and go from there. So got the piece out. I'm going to prep the other one, pre-drill some of the holes, spray the weld through primer, and get this thing welded in here. Show you guys where we at in a little bit here, but yep, a little bit of process. Let me show you what I was using to drill out the spot welds a little bit. I don't know if you can see this. I know I'm in flippy floppies. It's hot, so just excuse that. So Mack Truck had one of these. I didn't get the other ones, they were out of stock, but this one works pretty well. But since it was already replaced and somebody welded on, this worked the best, like a die grinder. Man, this thing's a beast. It just shredded all the welds, the metal, everything. So I'm gonna clean it up, get it prepped, get the new piece prepped, and I'm gonna weld it in there and show you guys where we're at. Be back shortly. Hey, what's up guys, I'm back. So I got these parts primered, as you can see. Got a nice 2-layer thing going on there. So let's see what we got here. So what we got here is, I don't like how that metal looks, but it is what it is. I mean, there's nothing you can really do with that about that. It's just that the person that previously repaired this Should have put the shock reinforcement kit on there, which it's not here. They didn't use it, so there's not much I can do except, you know, put it on when I do this repair and just make sure it stays on there. I'm thinking about just tack welding it in there just so it stays there. So if I ever get rid of the car, which I don't think I will, but if I ever do, you know, it will be protected with that reinforcement kit. I didn't spray anything on this side just because I'll spray the side once I weld everything in, and that's gonna be it. So this is where I'm at. I got the old piece. I just want to go ahead and match up the holes and try to drill new ones, but I don't think I'm going to use the same location like I was saying where the old one was welded in, because the metal is pretty messed up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill new holes in between those, weld this in, and I don't have the shock reinforcement kit, but I will put that on order and I will install it once it comes in. So I mean, I don't drive that much on my other daily, the S500. I put maybe 1,500 miles in like a year. Like I really don't drive my cars that much. So for now this will be fine, but I will get that reinforcement kit on there ASAP. So stay tuned. I'm gonna go ahead and pre-drill this part, get my welder out and tack weld it in there, just make sure everything's good, and go ahead and weld it in and show you guys what I got. And hopefully once I weld it in, I purchased some let me show you here. I purchased it's a 3M seam sealer. This is a black one. It doesn't matter the color. The one that was on there was beige. It makes no difference. And I got this 3M professional. See, professional, we're professionals here. It's an undercoating. So what I'll do is once I put the seam sealer on, I'll spray the undercoating on there just to protect it from obviously, I don't know if you saw, there was some rust in there and corrosion, which in South Carolina we don't have. We do get occasional snow, but we don't have salt. So I mean, I don't think there's gonna be any rust issues, but I still want to protect it. It's one of those things that I plan to keep the car for a while. So we'll get it done nice and show you guys how it's done. If anybody's watching this video somewhere in, I don't know, Illinois, Wyoming or something, you have an M3 or E36 and this helps you, great. You should do the same. Primer everything, make sure everything's protected from corrosion. This car actually came from Denver, and I just noticed just a few little surface rust spots on the rear subframe, but other than that, it's for the most part rust free. I mean, it's got 132,000 miles for 1999. Can't complain. So stay tuned and go ahead and pre-drill the holes, get this thing in there, weld it up, and I'll show you guys. Thanks. Hey guys, I'm back. It's super hot today. We're pushing, I think, like 85, 86 degrees with a lot of humidity. Anyway, fat people problems. I'm sweating a little bit. Let me show you where I'm at. I got the holes pre-drilled. I have the shock mount mounted up. Let me show you what I got. So I kind of massage the metal in just to make it fit perfect, because when I was pulling it out, just pulled it a little bit. So all that's in there, pretty nice. Just have a piece of wood on a jack, just holding this up. Fits up pretty nicely. There is a little bit of a gap on this side, but I'll push it up before I weld it. And if any of you guys are curious, that's what I'm working with. Got that red machine for now. So let me go ahead and tack weld this in, and so that way I can tap it just a little bit better, you know, into place, make sure there's less gaps. So when I weld it in, it's nice and solid in there. Everything's been primed. I gave it about half hour or so to cure, so it's nice and cured. I'm gonna weld it in and most likely go ahead and start sealing it up. So once I put seam sealer on it, I'll throw some undercoating on it, and I'll give it about a half hour to an hour to dry out, and I'll throw the shock back in and get this thing back in the ground. See you shortly. All right, so let me show you what I did. Right off the bat, I'm not particularly happy with how the welds came out on the inside, but in the wheel well, they're good. It's just the metal here is kind of, well, molested, I guess, because it's been repaired before, so this is the best I can do. I don't want to keep welding on there, and I mean, for one, it's poop welds on the inside. Just the metal's too thin, it just keeps melting no matter how much I turn down the welder. So don't want to mess it up even more. Just gonna leave it as is. I kind of hammered on it and it's not moving, so I don't see anything bad happening in the near future. If something does happen, I think I'm screwed, and I'm just gonna have to cut out the whole wheel arc and just replace that. And that is an option, just not right now. I think this will be fine the way it is. I'll show you down here. Down here it's nice and welded in. So I went ahead and wiped everything off with acetone, and I'm gonna go ahead and get the seam sealer and seam seal the inside and the outside. Let it dry just a little bit, throw some undercoating on it. I don't think I'm gonna spray undercoating in here. I think I'll just do spray paint, but in the wheel well I'll spray the undercoating, just make sure everything nice and uniform. So let me get to this and I'll get back to you shortly. All right, I'm back. Let me show you what I got. So I think I'm pretty much done with this. I'm not happy with how the welding came out, like I said, on the inside, but for the most part, I think it came out very good. I'm happy with the final product, just not happy with the way the welds look, but hey, they're functional, so it is what it is. So I took that black seam sealer and just put it on there on the seam, and I used a like a sponge brush. You can use a brush, you can use anything you want, and just I spread it apart, make sure the seam is, you know, covered on both sides, that way nothing gets through. And took some paint and primer in a can and just sprayed it. That's just to make sure there's no metal looking through that can rust or corrode. And this in here also got seam sealer everywhere, and I took some of that 3M undercoating, rubberized undercoating, and sprayed everything in. What I'll do is that piece right there, I'll wait for this to dry because I just sprayed it, so I'll wait for it to dry, and I'll use acetone. I'll clean the space where the shock is gonna sit, and I'll spray paint that black as well, because if you spray undercoating there and you bolt the shock up in there, what it'll do is it'll squeeze the seam sealer or the undercoating. It'll squeeze it in there, it'll glue itself to it, and it's not going to be fun later on. So keep that clean. You can put some paint on it. There's bugs. You can put some paint on it. Paint works the best. Let it cure. Once you put the shock in, it'll come out when you need it to. So I think we're done. I'm not gonna end the video yet. Probably what I'll do is I'll give this time to dry, maybe till evening or maybe till tomorrow, and I'll put the shock in, I'll bolt it in, everything, and we'll finish off the video. I just want to kind of group the videos together, and like if I start doing something, I want to make sure I finish that when I close off the video and not stretch it out to a couple days, etc., etc. So I don't know how how the time lapses are going. I don't know if people like them or not. I did on the first couple videos. I think I might stop doing that and just do updates like this, or if I get a tripod or another helper that can help me out, videotape while I do this. We'll see. We'll get better at this, but I'll wait till this is all done, complete, put together. Finish off the, I'll finish off the video with the full product, and I'll upload it so you guys can watch. Let me know if you have any questions or comments down below, and we'll go from there. Hey guys, I'm back. I let everything dry for a little bit, and I thought it was going to take much longer than that, but the undercoating that I sprayed is pretty much dry to the touch, so I don't want to wait, kill the whole rest of the day waiting. So I'm just going to go ahead and carefully put everything back in. So this is the shock that came out. I think I showed you guys original Sachs shock. So somebody replaced them, the previous owner probably, at a shop or something. And I don't know if they got this washer on correctly, because what I did is I peeled back the other side just to make sure, since I'm already doing all of this, I just wanted to confirm whether the passenger side shock was okay. And it seems like it has no damage, no cracks or anything, but that washer is upside down, so I don't know which one's correct, and we'll have to figure that out later. I don't think it matters so much right now, but we'll deal with that later. These will come out pretty soon again anyway. But I noticed why their repair actually failed again, right? So whoever did the work, they did a decent job, but there was some corrosion, whatever, the metal got a little bit weaker, I think, in my opinion, just because, whoever fixed it before grinded it, I grinded it, and it just becomes thinner and thinner. So I think it's not going to fail anymore. I hope it won't, because I just realized one thing as I was taking the nuts off to put this back in. So if you can see the top piece, that's the piece that broke now, but it still has this. This is the piece that broke off from the original, shock tower. So if you look here, this is the same. This is the piece from this shock tower that I took out, and this is the piece from the first original shock tower. So the very nice person that fixed this failed to remove these little leftovers, which I don't know if you understand what happens here. What happens is that there's less contact, there's a smaller area that it's holding on to, and it's easier for it to break. That's why you got to remove all of this crap. Make sure you're supposed to have a little gasket, I guess, but I don't think I have one right now, so I'm not going to bother with it. But it's supposed to be all clean, so when you put this up, this whole piece touches the shock tower, and the reinforcement kit that comes with it, it goes on top of the shock tower, and it sandwiches this whole area together, so it's not just the two nuts holding the shock, preventing failure. So I think that thing's gonna last a long time, because I'm gonna remove this crap here. I'm gonna run, I think I can put a little bit bigger washer in there. I'll see if it's gonna clear the little lip that's on there, but I'm gonna get some reinforcement plates on there ASAP, because I don't want it to fail, but I think I realized why it failed the second time. So if you guys do this repair, please pull these off. They are gonna mess up, your fresh repair. So get them out, clean it, make sure it's all clean, because this is what messes things up, And this is a pretty clean car. I ended up at auction because maybe the previous owner just said, hey, what's the point of fixing a shock tower if it keeps breaking? Well, if you have a normal person fix it, I think this would have been done and not failed again. But it is what it is. Bad for them, good for us, I guess. We got this car, we'll get it situated, get it up and going. So passenger side is good, no issues there. This side, just need to spray a little bit of spray paint right now before I put the shock back on. So let me get to it and we'll get back to you in a little bit. I probably look like complete crap, huh? Anyway, I think I got it finished up. And it's super hot, so like the paint, everything's drying super fast. So here it is. Trunk mat is in, all the panels, the carpet, whatever you want to call it. Everything's in, everything's good. I guess I am missing a battery cover. I don't remember if it was there or not, but obviously it's not there. So I'm gonna have to look for that and make sure this trunk is fully complete. I might even see if I can find the rubber straps to go there, just because it's nice to have them. Has a full spare. Looks like it's been used, so it is what it is, but still nice to have the original stuff in there. Just, I mean, if you have a blowout or something. And I am surprised that for the most part this is complete. I am missing, I think it's the spark plug remover tool. Anyway, maybe I'll track it down if I'm board or something, just to make this all complete. I'm gonna have to find the weather stripping for this. There's a little bent back here. I straighten everything out, but once I give it a wash, I'm gonna clean all this out. I just don't like crud in there. So that's done. The shock is tightened, the wheel is on. I don't know how you guys handle your bushings and your shocks and whatnot, but I think it's a good practice, and I think this is the right way to do it. Is you pretty much compress the suspension to where it's normally going to be, and then you tighten the bushings, the shock, whatever it is. Because if you tighten it in air while it's hanging, you got to think about it. When the suspension compresses, the bushing will want to twist, right? If you have the polyurethane bushings everywhere, I used to have them on my other car, and the little metal sleeve in there would turn in the bushing, so that's not a problem. But the bushings that are solid, with the sleeve that's welded in there, or it's in there, right? If you tighten it in the air, once you set it down, it'll want to twist. It's not going to break right away, but within a couple thousand miles, that thing will, that bushing will wear out, snap, and start just beating itself to death. So good practice is to compress the suspension. The best thing to do is set it down the way it is, dive underneath and tighten it up. But the other option is what I did, is I used the jack while the vehicle's on jack stands. I use the jack to compress the suspension, tighten it up, let it go, put the wheel on. Everything's good in the neighborhood, right? Is that what they say? So this unit is good to go for now. There's a couple things that are not done. Like, for example, this is still loose, and like I said, I will address this, but I can still drive like that. It's not a big deal. The other problem is, even though the AC, everything worked, it magically stopped. So right now I have no heat, no AC, nothing. Like the fan doesn't blow. So I did get the relay, like it's a fan relay or something like that. I did get that. I'm gonna throw that in. There's, I think, countless videos on that on YouTube, so it's so simple. It's probably not even worth wasting my time to videotape, but I'm gonna put that relay in there. I'll let you know how it goes. Sometimes the blower motor goes out, but I hope it's just that relay. So I'm gonna put that in, and if I get the fan to work, I'm gonna top off the coolant, because this thing is dirty. But I'm gonna top this off, I don't know if it's leaking somewhere. I haven't seen any puddles, but it's going somewhere. I hope it's not what I think it is, but you know, it's anybody's guess at this point. I just hope that the system's not bled properly and it's just taking some wind, because I really haven't driven the car. I've driven it down the street and back, and it just takes a little bit of coolant. So I don't know if it's just bleeding itself, you know, getting the pockets out, or hate to say it, if it has a blown head gasket, it is what it is, you know. That would get rid of the coolant as well. But I hope it's just a simple issue of it's not, maybe it's just dripping out somewhere, or I just hope it's just not bled. I haven't put that much in there, but I'll go ahead and I'll top it off, and I'll make sure that the blower motor works, and I'm gonna take it for a spin, do a little test drive, make sure everything's good, make sure the shock works. I mean, it does, but just gonna do a test drive and go from there. I'll let you guys know how it goes. All right, here we go. This unit is sick. She's a ripper. Is that what they say? So just went down the street. I don't know if you can hear me, I got the windows down, but I guess I can roll them up. AC works very well too. AC is working, really cold AC. Going down the street, all the bumps, everything's smooth, no more clinking and clanking like it was. So we're Gucci. No vibrations. I mean, this is a solid car. I think I mentioned before, some girl had it, just used it to drive to college and back. So this is one unmolested. I don't know if it was I don't know if it's been it's kind of hard to do this with one hand. This thing is solid, very nice base to start building on. So get this thing back in the shop, or towards the shop. Maybe I'll give it a quick wash. I think it deserves it, but it's good to go. I need to transfer my my other vehicle stacks to this, and good to go. All right, I'm excited, and I'll just show you the view to my house real quick, because yeah. Anyway, bye-bye. There she is. It's so humid that even the water doesn't want to dry. But it is what it is. I might take it for a spin down the street again just to get some of this water off. But I got the clips on order for the side. Tell you what though, I was Mr. Purple Team, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna switch to the Mr. Clean. The wheels came out super clean. This finally clipped on. I'll stay like this for a little bit until I have time to do it. I took off the shift boot because I got a surprise for that. Anyway, hope you guys like this. Stay tuned for other fun things.